Hello kids, how are you all? Hello class 6 students, we are studying chapter number 7. So today we will complete this chapter. So today's class will not so long, okay? We will complete so soon. So today we are going to study about roots, yes. But before we study about roots, let's revise whatever we studied. Last time we studied about stem, leaves, photosynthesis, yes. So let's revise them. First of all, last time we studied about the stems, yes. The stem helps the water and mineral to go to leaves and other plant parts attached to the stem through narrow tubes inside them. Yes, stem has narrow tubes, stem has vessels which help to transport the water which is absorbed by the roots. Yes, and we also studied about the leaves. Leaves have different part like petiole, midrib, veins, lamina, or you can say blade. Lamina is also known as blade, and we also studied about the leaf venation. Yes. So, what is leaf? Leaf is the organ of a plant. Yes, and what do you mean by petiole? What is petiole? What is petiole? The part of a leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. The part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem is called petiole. And what is lamina? The broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. Yes, the broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. And what do you mean by veins? The lines on the leaf are called veins. Yes, the lines on the leaf are called lem veins. Okay, and what is midrib? What is midrib? The thick veins in the middle is called midrib. Yes, and what do you mean by leaf venation? The design made by veins in a leaf is called leaf venation. Yes, and you know that there are two type of leaf venation: parallel venation and reticulate venation. Parallel venation in the grass, in the leaves of grass, the veins are parallel to one another. This is known as parallel venation. And reticulate venation, you know that if the design is net like on both side of midrib, the venation is reticulate venation. Yes, and if we talk about the transpiration, water comes out of leaves. Water comes out of leaves in the form of vapor by a process called transpiration. Plant release a lot of water into air through this process. Yes, and we also studied about photosynthesis. Yes, last time we studied about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process in which plants use water and carbon dioxide from air, and they absorb sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll and then make food which is stored in the form of starch. Yes, oxygen is given out in this process. Yes, it's very easy. Leaves prepare their food in the presence of sunlight and a green colored substance present in them called chlorophyll. For this, they use water and carbon dioxide from air. This process is called photosynthesis. Oxygen is given out in this process. The food prepared by leaves ultimately gets stored in different parts of plant as starch. So it's very easy to memorize. Yes, am I right? Now we will study about the roots. Yes, what are roots? So as you can see the picture of roots, actually different plants have different root. Yes, yes. If you have ever tried to dig small plant, then you might have seen the root. Two plants may have different root, or two plants may have similar root. So what is the function of root? The main function of the root is root absorb the water. Yes, because through the root they have they transport the through the root they transport the water and mineral which is present in the soil. They transport water and mineral which is very essential. And actually root, if you will look closely, if you will see the close look of root, you will find the hair on root. Yes, these are the hair which absorb the water from the soil. This is the important function of root. And then one more function, as you can see on your screen. Can you see on your screen the second function of root? The roots help in holding the plant firmly in the soil. Yes, they help to hold the plant. Yes, and then otherwise the plants can uproot it if the root is not present. They are said to anchor of the plant to the soil. Yes, they are said main lead the anchor of the plant to the soil. That's why plant can stay upright. Yes. So point number one, what is the function of root? They absorb water and mineral from the soil. Second function, they help in holding the plant firmly in the soil. Third function, they make the plants upright. Okay, these are the functions. Now let's talk about the types of root. Let's move on the next point. So kids, types of root. There are two types of root. Yes, tape root and fibrous root. TAP, tape, RWT, root. Fibrous root, FIBROUS, fibrous root, RWT, root. So there are two type of root, tape root and fibrous root. So you might have seen tape root, and I think you have seen fibrous root also. Wheat, maize, bajra, jowar, wheat, maize, bajra, jowar, sugar cane. If you will see their leaves are very long. If the leaves of any plants are long, it means they have fibrous root. Yes. And if the leaves of any plants are not long, they will have taproot. Yes. First picture is actually the picture of showing taproot, and second picture is actually fibrous root. So what is taproot? What is fibrous root? Taproot. First of all, we will study about taproot. So in a plant with a taproot system, the taproot is the largest, most central and most dominant root from which other root sprout laterally. Yes. What does it mean? It means taproot is a root which has a main root, and from the main root the other roots arise. Yes, the other roots arise from the main root. Yes. So plants which have taproot, they will have a main root, and from the main root other roots will arise, small root will arise. These other roots are known as lateral root. Yes, the roots which arise from the main root, which is known as taproot, the other roots are known as lateral root. Yes, this is all about taproot. So neem, shisham tree, they all have taproot. Now let's talk about the fibrous root. Fibrous root do not have any main root. Yes, they are actually found in a group together. Yes. So a fibrous root system is usually formed by thin moderately branch of root. Yes. Fibrous root is formed by many thin roots which are actually make a group. Yes. They start from the stem. Yes. There will be no taproot, so they all start from the stem. They all will be thin. These kind of roots are known as fibrous roots. They are found in maize, sugarcane, okay, and as well as in grass also. And in some kind of chara also. Some chara, not all. Okay. So it was all about taproot. So what is taproot? What do you mean by taproot? So roots of a plant which have a main root, and the other root arise from the main root, such kind of roots are known as taproot. And what do you mean by fibrous root? Roots which arise from the stem in the form of from a single point in the form of group. This is known as fibrous root. Okay, now let's study about flowers. So, a flower can be segmented into different parts. Yes, flower is actually the reproductive structure. Yes, which turns into fruit and seed. Yes, so uh, there are mainly two part of a flower: petal and sepal. Yes, these are the mainly two part of flower. But there are many other parts we will study. But first of all, we will see what is the meaning of petal, PETAL, what is the meaning of sepal, SEPAL, sepal. Yes, so the prominent parts of the open flower are known as petal. Yes, the main part of the flower is known as petal. Petal are very soft leaves like structure. Pankudia in Hindi you can say pankudia. Yes, you know. And sepal, the small leaf like structures are called the sepals. Yes, sepals is actually a small leaf like structure. Yes, it is small leaf like structure. Okay, so as you can see the picture of flower, so different uh, plants have different flowers. Some plants do not um, have flower. Yes, like monera plants do not have flower. Protista do not have flower. Yes, they do not have. But some have flowers like rose plant. You might have seen white rose, red rose, different kind of rose. They are actually flower, and many plants flower actually is a reproductive part. Yes, which actually bear the fruit. Yes, you know all about them. And if we talk about the parts of a flower, there are different parts of a flower. uh, Stamen, yes, pistil, they are the part of a flower. Stamen, pistil, yes. And stamen can be divided into different parts, like anther, filament, and pistil also can be divided into different part like style, stigma, ovary. So we will study about all these one by one, okay, in detail. So let's begin with stamen and pistil. Let's move on the next point. Okay, stamen and pistil. So stamen. Stamen is known as the male M-A-L-E, male part of a flower, and pistil is known as a female part of a flower. Yes. So remember, kids, what is stamen? Stamen is a male part. What is present in the stamen? In the stamen, cell is present. Yes, cell. Our body is made up of cell. Even the flower's body is also made up of cell. Yes, we have flowers have different kind of cell. Animals have different kind of cells. Yes. So which cell is present in the stamen? In stamen, male cell is present. In stamen, male cell is present, and in the pistil, female cell is present. Okay. Okay, I hope you understood. So, what is stamen? As you can see on the screen, yes. If you So the stamen is a pollen producing reproductive organ of a flower. Yes, it is a pollen producing reproductive organ of a flower. Yes, it is a pollen producing organ. Pollen, actually, pollen present on the stamen which contains male cell. Yes, actually pollen present on the stamen which contains the male cell. So you might have seen the thread like structure on the flower. Yes, you might have seen uh, inside the flower you might have seen them. Yes, which are actually stamen. Yes, and if we talk about the pistil, at the center of the flower it is present, the ovule producing part. Yes, uh, the ovule producing part of a flower is known as pistil. Yes, pistil is the ovule producing part. Ovule contains seed. Yes, ovule later turns into seed. So it turns later into seed. So pistil actually ovule producing part. Yes, I hope you understood. It's very easy. Okay. Now there are different parts of stamen and different parts of pistil. Let's study about them in detail. Let's move on the next point. Okay, it's parts of stamen. So there are two main part of stamen, anther and filament. You can see the picture of flower, and this picture is small, so maybe possible you cannot see it clearly. Okay, you can search on Google. Okay, you will found the picture of parts of flower. You can search on the Google parts of flower, you will get the original picture. Okay, so there are two part of stamen, anther and filament, and there are three part of pistil, style, stigma and ovary. So stamen is a male part. Okay, so anther, the part of the stamen where pollen is produced. Yes, as we studied about the stamen, what is stamen? Stamen is a pollen producing part. Yes, stamen is present on the anther part, anther, the top part of a thread like structure of stamen where pollen is produced. Yes, pollen contains the male cell. Okay, and next is filament. Filament is the bottom part, which is actually thread like. Yes, the filament is a stalk that connects to the anther. Yes, filament is a stalk that connect to the anther. Yes, it connects to the anther. And now let's talk about pistil. You can see, if you can see the picture of flower, you can see the center part which is in yellow color, which is actually known as pistil. Yes, the center part is actually known as pistil. Okay, so what is pistil? Pistil can be divided into three parts: style, stigma and ovary. What is style? Style is the top part, just like anther. Anther is also top part. In the same way, style is a top part. Um, so style, it is a long stalk that connects the stigma and ovary. Yes, it is long and it connects the stigma and the ovary. Yes, when the pollen comes on the style, it goes into inside and mm, goes into the ovary. Stigma, it is a sticky. Yes, it is really sticky platform at the top of the style. Yes, it is found at the top of the style. Yes, okay. Because the pollen which transfer from anther, it goes to the stigma, and from stigma it goes into a pipeline which is known as style, and it reaches to ovary. So it is sticky platform at the top of the style where pollen is deposited. Yes, where pollen come. Okay, ovary, actually there are two part here. Inside the ovary, ovule is present. Inside the ovary, ovule is present. Ovule converted into seed and ovary converted into fruits. Yes, ovary converts into fruit and ovule converts into seed. So what is ovary? The enlarged basal portion of pistil. Yes, what is ovary? Ovary is a large basal portion of the pistil. Yes, where ovules are produced. Where ovules are produced. Yes. You can see in the picture the yellow part. In the yellow there is a white part which is actually ovule. Okay. So it was all about stamen and pistil. Okay. There are two parts of stamen, anther and filament, and there are three parts of pistil, style, stigma and ovary. Okay. Now it's time to ask question from you. Let's move on the last point. Okay, kids, it's time to ask question from you. Question number 1. Explain the parts of flower in detail. Yes. So there are two parts of a flower, stamen and pistil. So what is stamen? The stamen is the pollen producing organ of the flower. And what is pistil? Pistil is a ovule producing part. So, yes, stamen is pollen producing part and pistil is ovule producing part. And we can divide stamen into two parts, anther and filament. What is anther? The part of the stamen where pollen is produced. And what is filament? Filament is a stalk that connects to the anther. Yes. And there are three parts of pistil: style, stigma, ovary. What is style? It is a long slender stalk that connects to the stigma and the ovary. And what is stigma? It is a sticky platform. Yes, stigma is a sticky platform at the top of the style where pollen is deposited. Yes, where pollen is deposited. And what is ovary? Ovary is the enlarged basal portion. Ovary is the enlarged basal portion of the pistil where ovules are produced. Yes, where ovules are produced. Next question is write the difference between taproot and fibrous root. Yes. So what is taproot? In a plant with the taproot system is formed. Yes. There is a main root from which small root arise, which are known as lateral root. Yes. And fibrous root is a system usually formed by a thin branching root. Yes. Fibrous root, there is no main root found. They are found in the form of group. Yes. Okay. So taproot is found in neem tree, mango tree, and fibrous root are found in maize plant. Yes. Even in banana tree, I think taproot. In banana tree, fibrous root found. Okay. In banana is actually not tree. Okay. Next question. Explain the different parts of a leaf. Yes. This question is not from the today's whatever we studied. It is from the last time we studied about the parts of leaf. Yes, there are different parts: petiole, midrib, vein, blade, stem. Yes, you know what is petiole? The part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem. And what is lamina? The broad green part. Yes. And what is vein? The lines on the leaf are known as veins. So these are easy. Now today's chapter is finished. Now we will meet in next class. Okay. This chapter is finished. We will meet with the next class with a new chapter, chapter number 8. Till then, bye bye.